What up, guys? I was doing this video just to sort of rant. I'll try not to be too long, but we'll see what happens. Um, Basically, the rant is about what's going on in the news right now. Unless you've been living under a rock or something, um, basically the Middle East is like blowing up right now as far as uh, embassies being attacked over this so-called video. Um, which to me that video seems a little strange too. I mean, the guy who they said did the video, they're not really even sure he's a real person or not, or was that the name of a real person or what. But basically, the video's out there. From what I've heard of people who've seen it, they said it was sort of in bad taste. But then at the same time, if anybody goes to the point of where they are mad or upset or say anything about Muhammad, whether it be video or making a video or drawing a cartoon or drawing a stick figure of him or whatever, the Muslim nation goes ballistic. And if that's what they want to believe, that's what they want to believe, fine. But then at the same time, when all these things happen and they attack our embassies, I don't care what's happened. Attacking U.S. embassies is an act of war. I'm not saying I want us to go to war, but it's an act of war. And we've got all these embassies under attack. There's Libya being attacked, Egypt, Yemen, uh, Germany, Switzerland, all these places that are being attacked, all of our embassies being attacked or whatnot. And these people coming up with RPG rocket launchers and shooting and heavy assault rifles, AK-47s, and all this stuff. And I'm looking at this situation and like, okay, what's going on here? Seriously, what's going on to where these people have just lost it? And I think what it is a clash between the West and a clash between the East as far as mentality goes. This is something that seems like the U.S. government just does not understand at all. You're trying to put Western philosophy and Western thinking on Eastern thinking, which not going to work. It's just not. And some people might be like, well, how can you say that? Look at history and show me where does it work. There's only one nation out there, one. See my finger? One. There's only one nation out there in the Middle East that democracy has been planted and rooted and is flourishing, and it's Israel. That's it. That's it. Because this is go back a little way, and just look at what's happened in the Middle East so far. We've got we got Libya that we ran into half cocked. Didn't put any troops on the ground. No troops got killed. That's great. Kudos to President Obama for that. But at the same time, you give weapon to the freedom fighters to fight Muammar Gaddafi and finally get rid of Gaddafi. And guess what happened to those weapons that we gave them? They're being used on us. Seems to always happen that way. You give them weapons, you clean up a fight that we don't want to fight, and then use our weapons against us later. Okay. So we've got that going on. And you look at the situation, you're like, okay, well, where's the impasse? How can we fix this? And it's a mentality, people. It's a mentality. You can't go around and try to put our feelings of right and wrong and being fair and giving in rights and all this stuff on them because they follow Sharia and they follow the Quran. It's totally different. It's totally different. So when they go around trying to push basically Christianity on them, a lot of them don't want to hear it. There are some that do, and I prayed a lot of them do. But some of them not trying to hear that. So they fight against us. We send them billions of dollars in aid. We send them food and all the rest of this stuff because we're trying to be the good-hearted Americans that we are, and we get beat up about it all the time. We sent you money, billions of dollars. We should be using here in our country, get us some jobs and try to fix some of this craziness that's going on in this country. But no, we're going to go and give it to people who want us dead and give us money for our interest in that region. When in the drop of a hat, somebody can draw a stick figure of Muhammad and the whole place will blow up. What sense does that make? How does that make sense? And on top of that, we're borrowing money from China, who own us lock, stock, and barrel, to give them money. But they want to kill us, and they attack us all the time, and they talk bad about us all the time, and we just go along with it. It just makes no sense. It makes no sense. And honestly, if you really want to know what the real deal on all that stuff is, go to the Word of God because it tells you point blank why they're doing what they do. One of the main reasons why the Middle East is the way that it is goes all the way back to Genesis. Isaac and Ishmael have been fighting each other for thousands of years over one thing, Jerusalem. Isaac was born first. If you know the story, if you don't know the story, go back into Genesis, check it out. Ishmael was born first because Abraham and Sarah went about it the wrong way. And for all intents and purposes, the Muslim people think that, and they recognize Abraham, that Ishmael was the firstborn, therefore he should get the birthright. All those things should belong to him. But God said, no, I didn't tell you anything about going and doing what you did. I told you I was going to give you a child. That's Isaac. Isaac was the second son. So, with all that said, they have been fighting and fighting and fighting. Isaac, the patriarch of the Israeli people, the Jewish nation, which Jerusalem as their capital, not some other place, because I'm sorry, Jerusalem has always been the capital of Israel, and always been the capital for the Jews, biblically and historically. I'm sorry, it just has been. It's not something they just made up. Ishmael, patriarch of the Muslim nation, oil and all that stuff, and both of them had just been butting heads constantly because they want Jerusalem. And then here we are as Americans who not only do they not want us there because they feel like we're invading on them and invading their lands and invading their way of life, which basically caused jihad against us. The icing on the cake for them is not only do we do all of what I just stated, but that we are going along with the Jews, which they vehemently hate. So on top, we're doubly hated. They already hate the Jews, but they doubly hate us. So they're going to do anything and everything they can do to push against the West. Stay tuned, everybody. Wait till next week where the United Nations convenes in New York, where we're going to have Egypt and Syria and Israel and all these Muslim nations under the same roof, all getting the chance to stand up there and speak. And I've got this feeling that the gauntlet's going to be laid down by somebody. I'm just wanting to see what's going to happen. Once again, pray for Israel, pray for our nation, that the Lord will hold us up and keep us, because honestly, if we're going to put all of our trust in men, we are going to be sorely, sorely sorry for doing that. Talk to y'all later. Peace.